May I come in, ma'am?
Please come.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir.
Right here.
Thank you, sir.
So, what's your good name?
Ma'am, my full name is Rajesh Ranjan.
Rajesh Ranjan. So, Rajesh, is there any particular meaning to Rajesh or just Rajesh?
Ma'am, the meaning of Rajesh is the God of Kings.
The God of Kings.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's very nice. Who was it? Who was the God of Kings in the mythology or wherever? Was there any God of Kings?
I'm not aware of it, ma'am.
You must be knowing it was some king of kings. That's how it's mentioned. Whatever. So tell me that what is your hobby?
Ma'am, my hobby includes watching web series, and
Web series,
yes,
right?
and also I like to follow world affairs regularly.
World.
Yeah.
And you cook also?
No, ma'am.
You don't cook. Why don't you cook? I mean, why there's no interest, or you get your food?
Actually, during lockdown, I learned
Some.
partially cooking, but I'm not a good cook.
But
I would
that's okay. So long as you can cook for yourself,
Yes.
it's fine. Okay, now you tell me there is a coal shortage.
Yes.
Coal, and there is a shortage. So I'm told that the shortage was 7.6% in April, which has just finished, right? And we have a demand of 28%. Demand is high, shortage is there, and the supply is low. So can we do anything about it? What are we doing?
Yes, ma'am. Like few things we can do. Like first of all, we should make people aware that they should consume less electricity.
Okay.
Like in offices, there should be rationing on the temperature of AC. Similarly, in meantime, we could shift more towards renewable energy in long term.
Okay.
So
Okay. Green energy in the long term.
yes, ma'am.
So tell me, like yesterday there was a partnership between India and one other country. You must be knowing about green strategic partnership. You remember the country?
Yes, ma'am. The country is Denmark.
Denmark.
Yes, ma'am.
So they are quite happy. They are saying we'll do it for you. We'll help you out, whatever. Okay, tell me that Mr. President of India, he went to the Northeast and he spoke very highly about Bodo language.
Yes, ma'am.
He said it's a very good language, it connects these states and so on. Have you heard or you haven't heard?
I have not heard it, ma'am.
So you would not like to say something. Okay, doesn't matter. So now there is LIC, the Life Insurance Corporation of India. They are trying to bring out, they've already got it on the newspaper, the IPO.
Yes, ma'am.
And a lot of criticism in advance. Why are you doing it at the wrong time? What is the rush to do an IPO when things are bad? Whatever. So what is your view on this?
I think, ma'am, corporatization of LIC by bringing IPO will bring more professionalism and efficiency in insurance sector will increase. So I think this is a progressive view.
It's a good thing.
Yes, ma'am.
According to you. Okay. So apart from whatever hobby you told me, is there another hobby written here?
Yes, ma'am.
What is that?
A nature enthusiast, ma'am. I like to spend time more with nature.
Nature. And
Yes, ma'am.
where is the nature near you?
Ma'am, I am currently living in my hometown in Jahanabad
Okay.
in Bihar.
So there are a lot of forest?
Forest cover is not that good, but there is a hill called Barabar, and
Okay.
we can spend time there. And my father is a farmer, ma'am, and so
That's all right.
and
But do you do picnics or you just go and sit there?
I do picnics, ma'am, with my friends.
With your friends.
Yes, ma'am.
That's fine. Right, sir. Please.
Thank you, ma'am.
Rajesh,
Yes.
in Bihar, the average land holding is less than 1 acre as per the last agricultural census. So, as a district magistrate, what steps would you take to increase the farmer's income given this small land holding? Just tell me 2 short-term measures and 2 medium-term measures.
Sir, in short term, we can go for land consolidation. Like 2-3 farmers should pool their land and do farming together. Also, there is a concept of farmer producer organization. We can promote that too in long term, sir.
Medium term.
Yes, sir. In medium term.
What else apart from this?
Sir, we can go for cooperative farming.
Cooperative farm.
Yes.
Okay. Anything in the technology part?
Yes, sir. Sir, one of the reason why Bihar agriculture is not mechanized is low size of the farm holding. So we can do 2-3 things on part of technology, like we can invest in technology such that we can customize the machinery so that it can be used even for small land size, and also we can develop some custom hiring centers where farmers can afford rent the machines and then they can use and later return.
Okay. Now India aspires to become a prominent member in the global supply chain.
So
Are you aware of some of the steps which Government of India has taken recently towards this objective?
yes, sir, Government of India has taken few steps, like we have joined supply chain resilience with Quad members. Similarly, we are trying to develop missions like National Mission on Semiconductors.
Very good.
Similarly, we are trying to have self-reliance in APIs. So these move can help India in becoming a supply chain resilient country.
This following world affairs is one of your hobbies.
Yes, sir.
What was one important event on world diplomacy in India? Are you aware?
Sir,
In Delhi, we had an important
yes, sir.
diplomatic
dialogue is
Raisina
going.
dialogue.
Yes,
Can you tell me some highlights of that? 1 or 2 important highlights of that Raisina dialogue?
so I went through the interview of our honorable external affairs minister, and he talked about the situation globally, like West is putting a lot of pressure on India to side and take a stand on China, Ukraine and Russia conflict. So India has very categorically stated them that the West is importing more fuels from Russia and indirectly helping in war machine against Ukraine. Yes, sir. Similarly, historically also, the West has been not very liberal towards India-Pakistan conflict. Like he said that when India and Pakistan engage in some conflict, the only suggestion India get is engage in more trade.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
My last question, Rajesh, is for some time now, it has been said that France is the new Russia for India. What do you understand by this?
Sir, it signifies that France has a lot of potential to cooperate with India at economic and strategic level. Like France, and as a part of European Union, it is planning to sign a FTA with India. Similarly, France has helped a lot in UNSC, United Nations Security Council, with regard to terrorists and taking a stand on Jammu Kashmir. So,
okay, yes, good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
So, Rajesh Ranjan,
Yes, sir.
you have, what is your subject in B.Tech?
Sir, it is mechanical engineering.
It was mechanical.
Yes, sir.
That's how you got into what is the Suzuki
Yes, sir.
company. What was the role in that company?
Sir, I was working as assistant manager in planning, sir.
Planning.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me, everybody is talking about LIC these days. Is it a company or not?
Sir, it is a corporation as per definition, sir. Yes, sir.
It's not a company.
It's not a company, sir.
So, can it also raise share from the share market? Or dispose of share in the share market? It's not a company.
Sir, it has been created through an act of parliament. So, for disposing share, the act should be changed, sir.
Presently, who is holding the shares?
Government of India, sir.
President of India is holding the
Yes,
share.
sir.
So, by a special concession, they have been allowed to set the share in the market.
Yes, sir.
If you look at the prospectus of this company or whatever corporation, it says the promoter is written President of India. In the beginning, at the beginning of the prospectus, is the promoter President of India.
Yes, sir.
Strange. Anyway, so your district, Jehanabad,
Yes, sir.
I think still there is some left-wing extremism there, or is it eliminated?
Sir, it has been eliminated, and according to a new report released by Ministry of Home Affairs, it has been removed from the district of Red Corridor. Yes, sir.
No, red corridor remove is different, but there are no more incidents of that type.
Yes, sir.
Left-wingism,
The
extremism.
last major incident which took place in Jahanabad was in 2005, sir.
That's correct.
Yes, sir. And from
What has been the steps taken by the government so as to eliminate that left-wing extremism?
I believe the government of Bihar has followed the philosophy from second RC, sir. It has treated left-wing extremism as a law and order problem in short term and a development challenge in long term. So as a short term, they developed, they worked a lot on modernization of police forces, and similarly, a lot of thanas were created in villages. Communication like routes were developed so that
They have taken administration closer to the people.
yes,
But road condition is still bad, I find.
it is not
Not that bad.
that bad, sir. The Honorable Chief Minister of Bihar.
How many kilometers to Aurangabad from Patna and how many hours you take?
Sir, from Aurangabad to Patna, it is around 40 kilometers, sir.
How much time you take? You take more time.
Sorry, sir. From Aurangabad to Patna, it's 100 kilometers, sir. Sir, and the time taken is around 2 hours, sir.
Anyway, okay. So, you think that taking administration closer to the people
So,
or working on that direction will reduce at least the left-wing extremism. Whether the governments in Jharkhand or Chhattisgarh, are they trying on this line?
yes, sir. They are trying on these lines. But there are other factors also which are reviving these things. Like in Jharkhand, the topography and geography is not that good. So it is a bit challenging for government to bring infrastructure and bring administration closer to society there. Also, the funding there is also based on the forest produce. Like Naxals get funding from the forest producer by selling minor forest produce. So there they get more revenues. So there we have to cut their funding, sir.
Aurangabad did not have that much forest.
No, sir, not that much forest. Yes.
Okay. Armed Forces Special Powers Act has not been made applicable in Jharkhand or Chhattisgarh. Or has it been made applicable?
No, sir, it has never been.
Why? You have to root out that whatever is the left-wing extremism. So we should put it there? No.
Sir,
What is the condition precedent for putting Armed Forces Special Powers Act? Why do I need to put it there?
if the situation become very worse as per law and order, then government of the state can request the center to put some districts under armed forces special power.
That's it. But the main problem is that you see, Armed Forces Special Powers Act, by definition, it is meant for armed forces.
Yes, sir.
Armed forces basically means military or air force in support of the military.
Yes, sir.
That is the basic thing. So if these fellows are coming, then you need Armed Forces Act. Otherwise, there is no need for Armed Forces Act.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So Rajesh, you hail from Jahanabad.
So,
Now this Jahanabad has got some left-wing extremism areas also.
sir, in recent report of Minister of Home Affairs, it has been removed.
Okay.
Yes.
So my question is, what has happened in the last few years that Jahanabad has been excluded from that list?
Okay.
What measures were taken in totality?
Sir, in totality, the administration has been made more closer to the citizens, sir. Like with the implementation of 73rd and 74th constitutional amendment, there is more decentralization of the power at the ground. So there has been more development at the ground level, sir, and that has effectively cut the base of Naxal, sir.
So this model can be applied everywhere. 73rd amendment has been done throughout the country. Even then, many blocks are still there, LWE areas.
Yes, sir.
You think this model can
Sir,
work everywhere?
Sir, the causes of Naxalism is different for different regions. We have to identify the root causes. Like in some region, Naxals or left-wing extremists got support from the forest funding too, sir. Foreign funding, like Nepal, China. So if that is the case in that region, we have to ensure that they are cut by those funds, sir.
Rajesh, you have mentioned that you are following world affairs. Now, just tell me, do you think that because of the Ukraine war, the whole world is divided into two? Those who are supporting in favor of Ukraine,
Yes, sir.
and those who are in favor of Russia, or so you think the blocks in the world, would be beneficial to the globalized world?
Sir, the division is never good for the world, sir. In fact, Ukraine-Russia war has divided the whole world, and it has created such a situation that a third world war may broke up, sir. So this situation is not good, I think, and UN and other agencies through diplomatic manner should try to bring normalcy, sir.
So only from world war that we are looking at, even in the economic
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
relations
Yes, sir.
also,
Yes, sir.
aren't we looking at each other with more suspicion?
Yes, sir. Like Russia has been isolated from the global financial system. Similarly, more countries are developing goods and services on their own, so that in future they don't have to depend on other country in case of some conflict, sir. So it is the tendency is towards deglobalization, sir.
Rajesh, you have done BTech from NIT Rourkela.
Yes, sir.
Incidentally, in your DAF, your discipline is not mentioned.
Yes,
What
sir.
is your discipline?
It's mechanical engineering, sir.
Mechanical. So you have studied from the steel city, Ispat Nagar,
Yes, sir.
right? So tell me the situation of steel consumption in India. How do we rank?
Rank wise, I'm not
No,
aware, sir.
How do we, are we better than the world average?
Sir,
Or
yes, sir.
yes, tell me.
We are less than the world average, sir. Our average per capita consumption is less than the world average.
So we produce so much and yet we are not able to consume. Why?
Sir, traditionally our focus was not that much on infrastructure, sir. But recently government has planned many things to develop infrastructure. So I hope in future our per capita steel consumption will increase.
All right. My last question. I have been reading in newspaper that the procurement of wheat this year by the state agencies is much lesser than the previous years. Can you recall the reasons as to why this could be?
Sir, one of the reason is international. Like Ukraine is the highest one of the exporter of the wheat, sir, and so in market it is expected that wheat prices will increase. So I think people are holding their wheat and they are planning to export to other countries, sir. That is one of the reasons, sir. And in future there is a danger of food insecurity due to wheat, sir. So food insecurity and wheat is going to be very crucial. So due to that also people are holding that.
People means the farmers are holding or the middlemen?
I think middlemen and farmers both are holding, sir.
The middlemen are holding.
Yes.
So today the situation is that even for the government schemes, the central government is finding difficulty in giving out the food grains and the PDS or whatever system we have. So you think the government should think of hiking the minimum support price?
Sir, according to data, our buffer reserve is already 3 times more than the required, sir. So I think government should use that buffer to run the PDS, sir.
No, but government says that we may have to replace wheat with rice. So that probably means that they don't have enough to distribute.
So one of the way could be raising the MSP to
Or is it that it is suiting India
sorry, sir.
to ensure more exports?
I think, sir, exporting wheat from India could help India in multiple ways. Like economically, we will earn forex, and on geopolitical perspective, sir, also we will gain some soft power in countries like Latin American countries and African countries, where there is potential that there will be food insecurity in future. So,
Prime Minister has also spoken in favor of sending food. Have you heard about
yes,
it?
sir.
What?
Sir, Prime Minister has urged the WTO to relax the norms, and it should make wheat exportable, sir.
Good. Thank you, Rajesh.
Thank you, sir.
Rajesh, you were already in audit and account service?
Sir, in second iteration, I was upgraded to IRS, Custom and Indirect Tax.
In
IRS,
IRAS,
yes, sir. Indian Revenue Service, sir.
revenue service. Okay. And still you have opted for IAS, IFS and IPS.
Yes, sir.
So does it indicate that you are not happy with
No, sir, I'm very
your
happy with this.
service?
Sir, I'm very happy with the current service, but I'm looking to upgrade my service because that has more potential in my.
All right. Rajesh, you are from Bihar.
So,
And Bihar has produced large number of civil servants. But still Bihar remains a state which has yet to develop and come up to the level of a developed state from Bimaru state.
yes, sir.
What is the reason? Is it that IAS and IPS and other civil servants have failed Bihar? How will you make a difference to Bihar?
Sir, first of all, I believe that the civil servants, IAS and IPS, have not failed Bihar because we are dealing with a very diverse society in Bihar. The population is very high, poverty rate is very high. So, and we are on the right path. Like our growth rate in Bihar is around 11%, sir. So it must be the contribution of IAS, IPS working there, tied district. On second front, sir, if I am posted in Bihar as IAS, so there is a lot of potential to work in agriculture, sir, because 80% of the Bihar people are dependent on agriculture and its allied activities. So if we do some measures to increase the productivity of agriculture, then it will impact a large portion of the population, sir. Similarly, we have to bring a linkage between agriculture and industry, sir. For that, food producing industries could be thought of. Similarly, MSME could be developed. So these things could change the face of the Bihar, sir.
Okay, very good. There was a news item that India has broken all the records of GST collection. What could be the possible reasons for such a huge jump in collections?
In month of April, GST collection was around 1.68 lakh crore, sir, and it is highest ever monthly collection, sir. So there are many reasons responsible for this, and the foremost reason is GST itself promotes more discipline with respect to tax collection, sir. It reduces the interaction between SSC and tax administration, and that itself promote integrity, sir. Similarly, the tax base has increased due to GST, so more people are covered under GST regime. So as the base increases, the tax collection is going to be good, sir. And particularly in month of April, tax collection is generally high compared to normal because a lot of people file their GST return in month of April, and due to a lot of business which took place due to March rush, sir. So this is also a factor.
Now you are in Indian Revenue Service,
Yes.
you said, okay. One statistic shows that 80% of India's direct tax comes from 20% of the taxpayers.
Yes,
Do you agree with this?
sir. India follows.
So, point is that those who contribute only 20%, why should we not do away with the taxation for them? So, would you like to react to this suggestion?
Sir, every governance and political system is run according to the constitution, sir. And in our DPSP, India has been termed as a welfare state, sir. So in a welfare state, the people who earns more are expected to contribute more for the nation building, sir. So, and also our taxation structure is progressive, so rich people are bound to pay more taxes, and I am for the current system that it should be progressive. Also there should be less tax evasion, and there should, all the people who are eligible to pay taxes should pay taxes. That will create itself a motivation for those who are honestly paying the taxes.
And what is the current status of Vivad Se Vishwas Tak scheme?
Sir, I'm not aware of the current status, but this scheme was brought to.
Okay. Last question. Two more questions. What is social audit? Has it served the purpose for which it was started?
Sir, social audit is a mechanism to hold government accountable. Like beneficiaries conduct a social audit of the schemes, and accordingly they give the feedback to the government agency that whether they have benefited or not. So it is a very effective mechanism to bring transparency and accountability in governance, sir. Sir, its utility has been good, but it has some challenges too, sir. There is less participation of people in the social audit process. The awareness is not that good at the ground level, sir. So that should be done. Also, the suggestions given by the social audit are not taken seriously by many government agencies who are implementing. So I think the performance of the civil servant should be judged based on this criteria too, sir. Like how seriously they are taking the feedbacks and implementing the feedbacks.
Okay, last question is on cryptocurrency. Government of India has announced some tax treating cryptocurrency as an asset. As an auditor, how would you audit crypto accounts when it is the basic feature is that you cannot even check from where the money has originated?
Sir, Government of India has recently taxed 30%, announced 30% tax on crypto transactions, and as an auditor, I would first ensure that all the transactions should be counted in should be registered at some government portal, sir. And also there are other ways to know the status, like there are many crypto transactions which are being converted into the fiat currency, sir, like rupee. So based on that we can have a surveillance. Similarly, there are some other things, like some goods and services are bought based on the crypto, sir. So we can have a check on how much goods and services are consumed by that individual, and accordingly we can put a surveillance on that, like this.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.